Hi everybody, I'm Maggie and this is Cycle 1, Week 6 Science, and we are learning about the major groups of invertebrates. And those are, what's included in that are sponges, stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, mollusks, sea stars, and arthropods. The tune of the song we're going to be using is Camptown Races, and yes, we do have some hand motions this week, so let me give them to you. For sponges, we're just gonna squeeze a sponge like this. Some of the kids were like, I'm not feeling that, and so they wanted to like pretend like they were wringing something out. So whatever works for you as far as the sponge goes. For stinging cell animals, we're just gonna make a fist and have it like your other hand stinging it. For flatworms, we're just gonna clap. Roundworms make a circle. Segmented worms, karate chops. For mollusks, we're gonna take our hands and just be like a clamshell. For sea stars, we're going to point to our eyes for seeing and then wiggle our hands like this for like sparkly stars. And then for arthropods, we're just taking those hands and then bringing them in front of you like this for our arthropods. And the song goes like this. Sponges, stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worm, mollusks, sea stars, arthropods. What's fun about this is in review, you can practice singing this really fast or really slow, depending on if that's something that the kids like. But here's with the hand motions. So we have sponges, stinging cell animals, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worm, mollusks, sea stars, arthropods. Yay! This is the poster that we used this week just to kind of give a visual to point to everything, and then it has the way that we're singing the song. So I leave that on the table while we're learning the song for everybody. One of the activities that we did to practice it was I simply took these words, which are all the vocabulary words, and I turned them into little cards like this, 2 for each. So we've got the arthropod, not this. We got, oh my gosh. We have 2 sea stars. We have 2 mollusks, 2 sponges, 2 stinging cell animals, and we just played memory. And so I took the cards and I laid them all out on the table. The kids all got in a line, and every time they got to turn over 2 cards to see if we could find a match. Now, every time they turned over a card, we said the name that was on both of the cards, and if it was nothing, then if they weren't a match, we turned them back over, and if there was a match, we all cheered, and we moved it off to the side, and then when we were done, we sang the song through one more time. But it just gave us a lot of practice with saying these different terms and having a little fun doing it. So that's what we did. If you are looking to do this at home and you want to add a little bit more to your little game of memory, you can have your kids do a relay race. They have to go to one side of the room, run over it, turn over to, they don't have it, they have to run back. So that's something if you need to get some energy out while still keeping the same memory game in play. We also at home can do a little bit of digging into what is a sponge, what is a stinging cell animal. And I actually had my kids make these little doors where it said sponges, and when you opened it, you had a picture of a sponge, and when you opened it, it had a little information about a sponge, just kind of like a window into things. So just another way to practice it and to kind of have it sink into their memory. But there's a lot you can do with these different things, especially when you think of the fact you can play it like memory. Like make it a fun card game, play Candyland, and use these as your memory cards. You have to answer a question before you move on to be able to move the spaces that you would like to move. Or you have to answer a question before you can spin to move forward. So I hope that gives you some ideas for how to practice science this week, and we'll see you for week 7.